What's up, guys?
Guys, this is the Handlebar Podcast YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
This is our YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Where we do videos.
For you.
Yes. Because we love you.
All right, two important things. Two serious important things. Number one, the podcast is listener funded. So every donation, if you've made a donation, thank you so much. You have funded the podcast. If you have not made a donation, let me tell you, the Handlebar Podcast is donor funded. That's the term. Donor funded. We are donor funded.
It means you can donate to us
on our website.
And that's how we are able to make episodes.
Which is thehandlebarpodcast.com.
Yes. Also, we have merch. We actually have new merch. So you can check it out.
Let me get some.
Also on
Let me get some. I'll show it to you right now. Let me get some.
Yeah.
I can't show it and
we
talk.
have new. Yeah, of course. I'll hold it for you.
All right. So this is one piece we have. Wow. Check it out. Check it out. One of our episode favorites.
Handlebars.
Boom. And this one.
Can we open this?
Yeah, open it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but open it. Why? Wait. Is that how you open packages? This would look nice in the summer. Wearing it to the pool.
Yeah, honestly, it's cool.
Yeah, it's fire. It really is fire.
It's kind of new for me.
All right, you can get this. You can get our classic merch, like our sweaters, mugs, totes, all on our website, thehandlebarpodcast.com. We're listener funded.
We're listener funded.
Wait.
How many times are you going to say
I'm just trying to say the two important things.
Bro.
Number 3, we love you. Thank you for listening.
We do love you.
To the Handlebar Podcast.
Welcome to the Handlebar Podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Handlebar Podcast. I'm here with my beautiful bride, Sarah Beth, who is, in fact, glowing. We are currently on Instagram Live, which I didn't know what to do with the moment we got on the Instagram Live.
I got so awkward.
I kind of felt a little overwhelmed
comments.
and got awkward. And you're like, I just flashed back to COVID. And so our team had the idea, what if we hopped on an Instagram Live? We picked a question from someone on Instagram Live. And we recorded the episode live from Instagram Live.
So much live.
Though it will be released later. So
yeah, it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. So our question is coming from our Dizzle. I think I'm saying that right. Did she resubmit the question?
Let me look. Our Dizzle, did you
the question? The question was on provision.
Yeah.
And I like the question. Talking about
I feel
provision.
like we have a
she
lot
worded it.
Skin in the game.
Content, like with what expecting, but also what you already have.
Okay, so tell me the question and then I'll say it out.
Let me go look. Okay, how do I approach provision in the light of being expectant yet content?
Okay, the question is, I'm saying it in the mic in case you couldn't hear it, those that are listening. How do I
approach provision
in
the light of being expectant,
expectant yet content?
with where you have what you have, where you're at and what you have.
So let's talk about provision.
Yeah.
Let's talk about expecting provision. Let's talk about being, when you're in need, what do you do?
Yeah.
I feel like we've really walked this out. Okay, I'm going to set a 10-minute timer. We are currently doing a session. Welcome to sessions. 10-minute timer starting now from our Dizzle provision. I like our Dizzle's Instagram handle.
It's cooler than mine.
Let's talk about provision. I think this is a super real topic for a lot of people right now, especially in the States. I think of our climate, of the economy. I think something that's sobering is it seems as if everybody seems to be going through financial hardship. Like it doesn't, you talk to a friend, you talk to this person, you talk to that person. Something that seems to be consistent is finances seem to be hard for a lot of people. And I think one thing that speaks to our economy, the state of our economy. But I know we've walked through it. We've been married for 7 years and we have had a lot of ups and downs when it comes to finances. And I would say we're doing better than we've ever done with finances. And
say that again, just so you can remember it for your own
we're
heart.
doing better than we've ever done with finances.
Wait. She clarified a little bit.
Okay.
She says, I mean it in such a way that we expect more from the Lord because of his infinite ability to do more and not limiting him to what we have now, yet still having that lens gladness and lacking in nothing.
Yeah. Okay, we can still go the direction.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think when you talk about provision, that's one of the things I think you have to be rooted in when it comes to provision, that provision is more than finances.
Yes.
But I think the elementary place of learning provision starts with finances.
Yeah, because it's something that's staring you in the face every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, finances are normally something that you're navigating.
Right.
And I think especially those that are listening to this podcast, being young adults, we are figuring out finances.
Yes, it's definitely on the forefront of all of our minds.
I have more thoughts. Do you want to jump in?
No, go ahead.
So I'm thinking of a verse that I pray to the Lord a ton. It's out of Proverbs.
Proverbs a day.
It's Proverbs
Keeps
30.
the double-mindedness away.
Listen to this verse out of Proverbs 30. So to anyone who's in need, maybe this verse will help you because it has really helped me. It's Proverbs 30, verse 7. It says, 2 things I request of you, O Lord. 2 things. I'm going to request 2 things from you, God. Deprive me not before I die. Do not keep these 2 things from me before I die. Remove falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food allotted to me, lest I be full and deny you and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and still and profane the name of my God. Let me break it down. Here's what he's saying. Give me 2 things. He says, don't give me riches and don't let me be poor. Don't let me have so much money that I forget you and I lose my integrity and I go about my own way and I think I'm my own provider. But don't let me be so poor that I start stealing and I'm dishonest and I'm at the self-checkout line and skirt. And I say that because that has been something personal. That I has had to overcome. But this verse has been something that I have prayed a ton. That Lord,
I can remember
give
going
me neither
to bed
poverty
at night.
nor riches.
I can remember so many nights going to bed and hearing you whispering this to the Lord, like just that verse. Let me not be so rich that I forget you. And what was it?
But don't let me be so poor that I lose my integrity. And I'm stealing and I'm cheating and I'm doing all of these things. And I think that prayer has kept me. That prayer has kept me from. That prayer has kept me in the fear of the Lord. I'll say it that way. That prayer has just reminded me that I'm not my shepherd. He's my shepherd. And I think that prayer keeps me expectant to receive from him, but it also teaches me to be content. So I think of this question on how to be expectant, yet how to live in contentment, which is what was asked by our Dizzle on the Instagram Live. And I think of that. I think of asking the Lord, I want to eat from your hand.
Yes.
I don't want to eat from my hand. I want to eat from yours.
Yes.
And don't give me riches. Don't give me poverty, but keep me living off of your hand.
It's so good.
And I'll say this and then I'll kick it to you, Sir Beth. But I also think of Psalm 23, verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not
want.
One of the things that I have found with provision is understanding and navigating between the difference of what is a want and what is a need. Because scripture says it is the Lord who shall provide all my needs. And so if it's a need, what I have found is that's on the Lord's responsibility, not mine.
And he spoke that to you in the first few weeks of our marriage because I would be going to the grocery store and you were super stressed out.
I was super stressed out, because
you
you're
wouldn't
just
let me
getting
go.
everything off the shelf. I want to get this, I want to get this, I want to get this. And I was like, no, I'm going to the store.
But then I felt like, it was a mess. But God spoke to you and said, if it's a need, it's on me.
Yeah.
Because you were getting stressed out of like what kind of apples.
Well, it was affecting our marriage.
It was like nitty gritty stuff. It was affecting our marriage. And the Lord said to you, if it's a need, it's on me. And then that made me start learning at the grocery store what's a need and what's a want. And Lord, I know you want to give me the desires of my heart and what I want, but I also want to grow in being smart with my money and like expecting you to do more, but being content with where we're at right now, which was one job, one salary.
Yeah.
And it was tight. And, but
I think of another prayer we would pray
lacked.
is Psalm 23, verse 1. Like I think at the times you would come to me and you would say, I want this. Or I don't think you would say want. I think you would say like, I really want to get this. Well, there's still want, but you get what I'm trying to say. There was something that you were desiring.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I'm so overwhelmed. We're trying to pay these things. You just lost your job. Oh my gosh, we're in need. We're in need of the Lord's provision. And we would hold hands and we would pray, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And what it started to do was it started filtering through what is something that we want, that we think we need, and what is something that we actually need. And then all of a sudden it would put us in a place of faith to believe God for things we need, because he shall supply all my needs.
Yeah.
But it would disarm the weird desire that was hooking us for once. And realizing the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. So if there's something I'm wanting, I just maybe haven't seen you to the fullest.
It's true.
Maybe I've taken my eyes off of you and I've put my eyes on other things. But when I put my eyes on my shepherd, I realize, wow, you supply all my needs and I have no wants.
Yes. And when I've noticed in my own life, when I start to become discontent, it's because my eyes are looking to something else. And I think of, I think it's Matthew 6 before, where he says, don't worry about tomorrow. It says the eye is the lamp of the body. And if the eye is filled with light, the whole body will be filled with light. But if your eye is filled with darkness, your whole body will be filled with darkness. And for me, when I would start to become discontent or want something that I didn't actually need, it was because of what my eyes were looking at. And so I think of this question, and she's asking, how do I stay expectant but content with where I'm at? Be careful and watch out for what your eyes are looking at. And that could be something as small as I'm on Instagram and I'm following influencers that are posting new shoes and new clothes and new. For me, Sarah Beth, personally, that will be darkness to my whole body. If I let that enter my eye, that will become darkness for my whole body. And my day will be determined on whether or not I can get that thing. Right? And I've grown a lot, but that is in the past how it's been. And I know that there's so many more examples of how to be expectant and stay content with what you have. But that's just my life example is being careful of what I let my eyes feast on. I want to see him. I want to see my shepherd. I want to say, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. And actually mean it and believe it.
I think it's God's desire for us to live in that place.
Yeah, of dependency.
Like I think of when Jesus sent out the disciples, he told them, don't take an extra tunic, don't take money, don't take food.
I would have been like,
he basically puts them in a place to where he says, hey, I want you to trust my voice. I want you to go. I want you to step into this thing. Yeah. But I want you to go in need, being in need, because
so
I want you to
provide.
See the provision of the Father.
Yes.
I want you to see how he takes care of you. Yes. I want you to see how you don't need to worry. Look at the birds of the air.
Yeah.
Look at the lilies of the field. They it's like, how much more will he take care of you than these? Mm-hmm. And I think it's sometimes the setup of God when you're all in and you're fully following him, to find your place in this place, in the tension, in the chasm of, wow, I'm in need. Because it's him wanting to reveal, hey, I am the God. I am the one. I am the perfect Father who shall supply all of your needs. And I know that has been true of our life.
Well, I think in America especially, it's so easy to go your whole life without ever getting to that point, because we have the privileges and the ability to work hard so that we're never in any sort of need. But I remember, because growing up, I never really felt that of, oh, we're in need of food, or we're in, like, I personally, I didn't have that experience as a child. And I'm grateful for that. And at the same time, when we got married and just started our journey together and finances were tight, and we decided to give our lives to something that in the bank account wasn't looking like it was going to be enough, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Man's wisdom would have said, don't do this.
Man's wisdom would have said, don't do this. Man's wisdom for me, when we got married, God was saying, I don't want you to work because you find your identity in what you do. And I want you to be at home and encounter me. And you were even like, good luck, sis. But then you came, we prayed and we got on the same page. What I mean is, in man's eyes, there's a way that seems right to a man, and in that way ends in death, right? Isn't that what it says in Proverbs? So the way that seemed right to us was to work really hard to make money so that we'd be comfortable. And thank God we haven't done that, because we have been in the place of, Lord, we need you to show up. If you have called us to this, remember when the Lord told you, if you'll build my house, I will build yours. And it has been so true. And I'm so thankful that we haven't leaned on the wisdom of the world or man, of this American cookie cutter life where we don't have any need of God, whether it's financially or in other ways. And I think that can be so easy for us to fall into. And I would much rather there's our dog barking. I would much rather be dependent on the Lord in the area of finances, but in every area in my life, not just finances. So I love this question because how do I stay expectant for God to do more, but be content with where I'm at?
So what's the handlebar?
I think the handlebar would be, there's so many.
How do you stay expectant, but how do you stay content?
Yeah.
And here's mine.
Okay.
Eat the daily bread.
That's good.
Eat the daily bread.
Yeah.
I think
don't get ahead of yourself.
I think of Hebrews 3 today, if you will hear his voice, do not harden your heart.
Yeah.
Which tells me he's speaking every day.
Yeah.
I think of John 6, that if you do not eat of his body, drink of his blood, you have no part in him. Mm-hmm. I think of Psalm 37, to dwell in the land, to feed on his faithfulness.
Yeah.
I think there is a daily eating that we are meant to do from the Lord's voice.
Yeah.
And I think if you're daily eating your daily bread, it has a way, Elissa said it best, that he keeps you hungry, but he keeps you fed. Mm-hmm. Like there's this daily, he feeds me every day.
Yes.
And the more I eat, the hungrier I get. The more I eat, the more I keep coming back.
Yes.
And I think in staying expectant, yet staying content, I think it's eating the daily bread because you eat it and you go, this is so good. Yet you can't wait for tomorrow's. You're
so
expectant for tomorrow's, but
you know that firsthand because I just started making sourdough.
You did just start
so
making sourdough.
You'll love your pizza in the morning, but you'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna make a pizza sandwich tomorrow with the same sourdough bread.
That's true, and that sourdough is good.
And then all my sourdough
I'm content,
gonna
but
be
I'm
gone.
expectant. That's why you make it though, to be eaten.
Yeah, right.
But let me make it even more
good.
practical because I don't want it to sound spiritual and swirly. I like to make practicals. So what does that mean when I say eat of the daily bread? Daily be in prayer.
Yeah, and in the Bible.
Daily dialogue with God. Yeah. Daily open up your mouth and say, Lord, can you speak to me about whatever it is, whatever thing you think is a want versus what you think is a need.
Yeah.
Sit on that with the Lord.
Gosh,
say, Lord, I really want this. I think I need this. Can you speak to me?
Yeah.
Is this a want? Is this a need?
Yeah.
And if it's a need, watch how he'll supply it in his way, in his timing, and something I can say.
And it'll purify your wants.
It will purify your wants. And something I can say is we as a family have never been in need.
No.
Our needs have never not been met.
No.
It's another way to say it. Or I think of what David writes. He says, I was young and now I'm old. Mm-hmm. But there's one thing I've never seen.
I've never seen his children begging
I've never
for
seen
bread.
the righteous forsaken or his descendants begging for bread.
It's so powerful.
Because there's daily bread to eat.
Yeah.
And I think it keeps you hungry. It keeps you content.
Yeah.
But it keeps you expectant. So
yeah. My handlebar would be, and I kind of talked about this in an episode with Rafi recently, but I got this advice from my counselor, and it was to make a gratitude jar. And so like make a little jar and ask yourself what made my heart smile today, and put the piece of paper with that thing in the jar. And I think it's being grateful is my handlebar. Start a gratitude jar. Wow. Be thankful. Because when you're looking at what he's given you and what he's already provided, you will inevitably be expectant for the future.
Yes.
Because you have history and a testimony of how he's provided, and you'll expect that in the future.
Yes. It's good.
Be thankful.
Well, our Dizzle asked a great question.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Our Dizzle. So
How
from
many times have
Instagram
you said that
Live
in this episode?
to the podcast. It's an awesome Instagram handle. I'm a little jealous. I'm thinking maybe I should change mine to a Dizzle, maybe.
No, please don't do that.
All right. We love you. Thanks for listening. I hope this helps.
Hi, I'm Maggie Verlander. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a listener of the Handlebar podcast. One thing I love about the podcast is how real it feels to me. I feel like every time I listen, it speaks into a lot of topics that I don't hear from a lot of other podcasts. And so every time I just am reminded how authentic it feels to me. And so if you love this podcast too, you should like and subscribe and send it to a friend, your family, your crush, all the people. That's it. Wait, no. Actually, I wanted to read that part. Yeah, because I think